for us, for our holiness, for our truthfulness, for our sincere love for the brethren. He says he will rejoice over you for good, just as he rejoiced over your fathers, if you obey the Lord your God and keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law. And you turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and soul. I've been talking about this, and it's really hard to explain. It's just so much. But the Jews have to go back to the law of Moses, and they got to go back to the covenant that they broke in order to be restored. So that's why they have to go back to temple worship. That's why they got to go back to keeping the whole law. The secularized Jew, the Americanized Jew, the materialistic Jew, the one who's very philosophical, will change. He'll go back to doing the rabbinical way, the righteous, holy way that was written into Moses. Because that's what the Lord is saying. You have to be careful to observe all that you have done. You can't be a Gentile. He's a Jew. So understand that as we look at restoration, we have to look at it with intelligence from the Bible's perspective. The commandment I give you today is not too difficult. It's not out of reach. It's not out of reach for you and for me today to follow the Lord. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will go up to heaven for us to get it? You don't have to send up to the heavens to get this understanding. You don't have to go into seances and transcendental meditation. You don't have to play all that game. You don't have to become like that to get the promises. No, this is a clear word. It's being presented in your language. It's understood. It should be understood. He says that we may observe, nor is it beyond the sea, way beyond the horizon, that you should say, who will cross the sea for us to get it and make us hear it, that we may observe it. But the word is very near you. Romans chapter 10. It's in your mouth. It's in your memorized mouth. It's what you memorize. It's what you know. It's what you've been taught. It's in your mouth. You say it when you pray, your ritualistic prayers. I'm there in those prayers. It's in your heart that you may observe it. I've opened your heart. It's in you. The Spirit of the Lord puts the law of the Lord in us. Even puts the Jewish stuff, the stuff I'm preaching about right now, the restoration of Israel. He put that in me. I didn't put that in there. He put that in there. He made me care. Otherwise, I don't care. But he put it in there because it's part of the Spirit's work. Is to make us love the Jews and to love the restoration of Zion. He says, see, I've set before you today life and prosperity and death and adversity. You got two things. You got life over here and you got death over there. In that I command you today to love the Lord your God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. That the Lord your God may bless you in the land where you are entering to possess. But if your heart turns away and you will not obey, but are drawn away and worship other gods and serve, I declare to you today that you shall surely perish. You shall not prolong your days in the land where you are crossing the Jordan to enter and possess. I call heaven and earth today as witnesses, and have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. So choose life in order that you may live, you and your descendants, by loving the Lord your God, by obeying his voice, and by holding fast to him, persevering. For this is your life and the length of your days, that you may live in the land which the Lord your God swore to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give them. So Moses ends. He warns of a future apostasy. But in the restoration, all this gets fixed. Praise God.